Yeah, I think it was a little bit windy, so we had both to adjust a little bit. I felt like I was returning very well. He was changing the game very, very good, especially when he was playing with the wind. He is lightning fast, so sometimes you have to go on the same corner again. But I just tried to find the right balance on how much I have to push, and yeah, sometimes I have to stay in the rally a little bit more. So it depends, but I think. Tactically, we were prepared for a long fight. The first set was very important, and in the second set, I was hitting a little bit more freer. So yeah, it was a good day in the office.
Congratulations, Jannik, on the win. I'm curious what a win like this can do going forward for your confidence, particularly at the U.S. Open and beyond this season.
Yeah, for sure, it's a good confidence boost, no? Especially going into the U.S. Open. It's gonna be tough in Cincy because there's not so much time to adjust. But we will ask for Wednesday start. Hopefully, I can get the Wednesday start. So I have a couple of hits before the match, trying to be ready. Yeah, for that tournament, and then trying to prepare in the best possible way the U.S. Open. Let's see what positive things can give me this win. I feel like for sure the confidence is gonna be a little bit higher, but also my expectations are gonna be higher. So when I came here, I knew that I can play very, very good. So this is, as I said, a great result, and then we'll see how it goes in the future.
Hi, congrats. What did you learn from your losses against Medvedev and Rataj in Miami to win today?
Yeah, I think, as I said before the final, finals are a little bit different, and when you play for such an important trophy, when you go used to it a little bit before on your feelings before the match and also during the match, trying to stay quite calm mentally, and I think everything together today, I was doing better than in the previous two finals in the Master Series. I was very focused about my game, what I had to do, and I felt like I was executing it in the right way. So I'm very happy.
In the back. Jannik, all week long, I've seen you working hard in practice, but also having moments where you're having fun out there with your team, lots of smiles, making Darren do push-ups when you hit your service targets. How important is it for you to have those moments as you prepare for big matches like this, to be enjoying yourself in that way? And do you think it's good to be making Darren do those push-ups at his age?
Yeah, usually when we put down the targets, I'm not that good. So that's why we say if I take one down, so he can make push-ups, and um, it's also important, to make some fun games in during the practice. Also off court, trying to do sometimes something different, trying out maybe a different restaurant, for example, just to change up a little bit, because if not, if you do always the same thing, it's quite heavy, no. But in the other way, during the match, I'm very focused. When I practice, I'm very focused, trying to get better. But obviously, the fun moments are also important, and I feel like that I have improved in this kind of view, that I can enjoy myself a little bit better, but being also focused to practice good.
Yeah, please. Right.
Yes, congratulations on the win, Jannik. Yeah, my question is, when you were younger, when you were a kid, you did ski as well. How can you transfer something from the ski to tennis? Some skills.
The only skill I would say is maybe the sliding and the balance on court. Maybe that's the only thing, but like generally talking, it's a completely different sport. One of the reasons why I chose tennis is because in tennis you don't have to be really afraid of nothing, because nothing can really happen. In ski, when you fall down, you never know, if you break something or not. So that's one of the reasons, if not the reason why I chose to play tennis now. And even if you miss one ball, but you have lots of opportunities somehow to win the match, which is another scenario where I prefer tennis. In a ski race, you make one mistake, you cannot win now. So it's there are a couple of different things.
Do last one in English, please. Right here.
Jannik, Alex said that you have some of the hardest ground strokes that he's ever dealt with. I'm curious just how you've been able just to develop your ball striking over your career to make it such an asset for you.
I think I always had a quite fluid ground stroke. I was fortunate when I was young that I was not strong physically, so I had to find a way to have a good ground stroke speed. So that's why I worked a lot technically. Now I'm getting also stronger physically. I'm growing, and I guess the combination of being fluid and flexible, but also getting stronger, makes you hit the ball a little bit harder. Obviously, sometimes you have to also to adjust and understand how much power you want to use. If you are against the wind, obviously you have to use a little bit more, and if you're with the wind, you take also his ball a little bit and trying to maneuver it. But I think the combination of strength but also fluidity is very important.
Italian, Portuguese.
Yeah, congrats on the win. I noticed for most of the first set it was steady ground strokes, and then late in the first set you made this little backspin shot and just floated over the net. Was that a decision that just that change up that you felt was the right time? Can you tell me a little bit about the decision to change things up?
The drop shot.
Yeah, and then you broke, and then you took this.
Yeah. Well, he was moving very, very well, and I was playing against the wind, so the drop shot is a good solution because it stops the ball. When it went out of the racket, I felt like maybe it's going to the net, but fortunately went to the other side. But I felt like it was the right moment to play, to mix it up also a little bit the game, because we were both playing quite flat, and with the wind it's tough to play a little bit more with topspin. But sometimes you have to change up a little bit, and I think today this was one of the solutions. In my mind, I wanted also to make some serve and volleys, but I was not serving that well, so I was a bit afraid. And I still feel like there is room to improve for sure, how to handle a couple of situations better.
Congratulations. For how long have you been wanting this? For how long a title like this has been on your radar?
This is from every tennis player's dream, to win one of these tournaments. Watching it in TV, obviously, but I started to believe, from a little bit more from last year, because I felt like that I had the level to go a little bit further in every tournament, and I think I've shown this, especially this year, making some semifinals and final in important moments, in important tournaments, and then you really start to believe, and I believe that I can win one. It's obviously tough to say before the tournament that this is gonna be the tournament, but just happy, obviously, but the belief in your mindset is very important in the sport. So obviously, thanks to Darren, who is a very important character in our team, it was very important.